Welcome to our Summer 2023 capstone project. My name is Annie, and I would like to introduce my teammates Carlos, Brian, Jose, and Sebastian. Our project is called FreeFoodFIU, and this is the very first semester we were able to work on this web application. So let's get started. To start, Florida International University is a very large community with over 300 acres and over 56,000 students. At FIU, there are numerous amounts of clubs and social organizations that hold events on a daily basis. Usually, these events provide food, refreshments, and even some have giveaways. With that being said, all the foods and refreshments that were provided end up being thrown away due to the lack of attendance and awareness.
FreeFoodFIU aims to address food waste and food insecurity by creating a platform that connects students with campus events that offers free food. Students can search for events based on location and type of food, and also view pictures of the food offered at the event. Event goers can add and update information about events to ensure students have access to accurate and up-to-date information. The platform's user-friendly interface makes it easy for students to find and attend events. This project was developed during the summer semester with the following timeline: 5 2-week sprint intervals. The first sprint was focused on research, the second sprint was focused on design, and sprints 3 through 5 were focused on implementation. We had 4 types of meetings during these sprints: daily stand-ups, sprint planning, sprint retrospectives, and sprint reviews.
My name is Carlos. To develop this web app, we use the MERN stack. MERN, the M is for MongoDB, that is a non-SQL database that stores data in a JSON-like format. It is very flexible and scalable. The E is for Express, a lightweight and flexible web application framework for Node.js. The R is for React, a popular JavaScript library for building user interfaces, enabling efficient and dynamic front-end development. And the N is for Node.js, a server-side JavaScript runtime that allows running JavaScript code outside the browser. We use this for running the web app locally, and also installing all the dependencies and modules, because it goes with the npm incorporated.
For user functionality, we have first or user registration, which allows new users to create their account on the platform, providing details like username, email, and password. Then we have our user profile page design and implementation, where we designed an intuitive and visually appealing user profile page where users can view and manage their account information. After that, we have our user dietary restriction filtering feature, where we created a filtering system that allows users to set dietary restrictions or preference, such as vegan, gluten-free, etc., which enables the platform to display only relevant content based on their chosen filters. And finally, we have password reset functionality, where we implemented a password reset feature that allows users to regain access to their account if they forgot their password. Okay, now for the event functionality. First, we have that organizers can easily create and manage events through a user-friendly event creation page. We also facilitated event discovery, where attendees can search for events based on location and food preferences. Additionally, event organizers have the ability to edit or cancel events as they see fit. And for users, the event registration functionality simplifies the process of signing up for an event, which also promotes greater participation and more engagement.
To like more detail into the features, this use case diagram for the login and registration system shows how users are able to register if they don't have an account or login, so they could be able to see their personal events, create new events, And also we implemented a token for creating cookies, and users are able to stay logging for 7 days. Also administrators are able to modify or make update everything if needed from the backend. This sequence diagram shows how everything is organized. Like the user puts all the input for the registration, it gets saved on the database, and then the API sends an authentication back. For logging in is very similar. If the account already exists, the user will get authenticated pretty easily.
So I'm going to be covering the use case diagram for events management. Here you can see the user, and there's different use cases for the users, such as adding events, viewing events. They can also edit events and search events. And you can see that the database is particularly involved when it comes to adding events and deleting events, as well as editing events. That's where the database is mostly accessed. And you can actually see here the sequence of event creation and viewing. You can see that the user inputs details for their event through the form that we saw previously. A post request happens to the MongoDB database, and you get a return status of 400, meaning that the request was successful. And then the user gets a confirmation that the creation was successful. You can also see that we also have the population of the collections from the database to the event feed page. That way, all users can see all the events listed under the events billboard and the home page. And then the user can also view this page as well. And we also have another sequence diagram we wanted to show for the search functionality. So when a user is searching for events, they can filter their selections. So for example, a filter might be to filter certain locations. So if you only want to get events taking place, let's say at the case building or at a certain FIU campus, or you can also filter it by the name of the organization if you want to go to an event by UPE, for example. So that filter selection is entered through the search page, and that custom query gets sent to the database. It returns the result of the GET request, and then only those events are displayed to the user. We also have a class diagram where it just shows you a little bit about the different classes that we have. Mostly it was the user and the event class, and those are the two main collections in our program. We also have a dietary tag collection that we kind of show there, which it's kind of the system that we have where we have tags for different diet preferences. So if somebody's a vegetarian or they're allergic to peanuts, it kind of helps with that aspect of the application. So here you could just see the variables and the various functions for creating, getting, and using all of these objects.
I'm going to present the deployment diagram now. So from the user's browser, they make an HTTP or HTTPS request, which the web server receives, and the web server then sends a backend API request. The backend server, before doing anything, will make a database query to the MongoDB NoSQL database, send a response back to the backend server, which will then send an API response to the front-end server, which renders the web page for the user's browser.
To conclude, FreeFoodFIU aims to provide a simple and accessible platform for FIU students to receive knowledge on upcoming events throughout campus that will be providing foods to successfully reduce food waste and increase campus interactions. If you have any further questions, you can contact our product owner via email, cmoya016@fiu.edu. Thank you for listening.